Hello, everyone. This is Shannon Pyle with Cinderella's Mice. I was thinking about the look ahead, and trying to line things up with respect to that. So I've got Valentine's and I've got some Christmas. Um, what little Christmas I have, I want to bring it now a little bit more further. There's some more things that I can do with these mittens that I've decided on how to decorate them per se. And Lisa Bell, how are you, sweetheart? You can ring my bell, Lisa Bell. I love you, sweetheart. How's it going? So okay, I've got I started the season early for to give enough leeways and allow for disruptions. Um, I decided I'm just gonna keep Christmas personal with some friends and with family because it's just too much for me to do right now. And, I just got this curveball that just happened in life. Um, and I just gotta work within that. So because of that, I'm not gonna be doing Christmas for 2025, but I'm gonna have my season ending with Christmas of 2026. Um, there's just some things that I gotta let go of. There's some things that I cannot do due to circumstances outside of my control. I had some really cute ideas. So the snowman hat that Claw had done, I got some stuff for that, and I did a little post on it. I decided I can also use it as a top hat for Valentine's Day. And because I'm ending my season with Christmas of 2026, um, it would easily be able to flow back into a female snowman's hat with the adjustment of a matter of a few decorations. Yeah, understandable. I really appreciate that. I don't need to be that die hard, try hard. This is money that we're dealing with. I'm also very handicapped, and I got to be real and work within my means on that. It's like, okay, you could, but should you? And absolutely not. I don't want to live a life of um, wearing my body. I've got two fusions so far in my neck, and I've got two spinal cord injuries from the discs rupturing and going right into my spinal cord. So basically, I have degenerative disc disease, and my neck is collapsing. Um, the discs are draining off and crumbling. So my neck's collapsing. So I've got concrete in my neck. I've got concrete and I've got plates. What happens, this is going to get me about 10 to 15 years, depending on my wear and tear. Because the discs are uh, deteriorating. Um, I could put myself in a position because my neurosurgeon really wants to fuse from C1 and 2 all the way down through my thoracic spine. That's how serious this is. Um, with that being said, I can't go out on the ice skating rink. I don't walk, I stumble. And I got to be very real. I don't need to be um, you know what I mean? I don't need to be, um, yeah, I need to know what my situation is, what my circumstances are, and really look hard at my compass and stay with that. Um, so because of all that crap that's going on, I cannot, it's not in alignment for me. It is definitely not my God's will for me, without a doubt. I mean, my higher power, my God does not need to make me a Superman, right? And I feel like we got to take a look at what courage looks like. Um, what may seem hard is actually the easier, softer way, right? When to say no to those deals, when to not have to have every corner and every turn, which ends up being a slip, trip, and fall. Um, what am I gaining and what am I losing? You know, so I'm losing nothing and I'm gaining everything in this situation. So I'm not going to be doing Christmas of 2025, but I am positioning for Christmas of 2026. Most definitely, because I can talk myself into stuff. I talk myself into this. I can do this. Just because I'm handicapped does not mean I make the best decisions at all. So, how are you tonight? You've been, someone did what do you want to call it? Um, I don't know what you want to call it, like a reel with you, and you look so cute in your storefront. Oh, thank you for your prayers, like your emojis. Um, so in my spiritual way of life, we keep it simple. How quickly do we pray to ask for something specific, for God to turn around and give us what we asked for, and then to turn around and quickly have to pray for Him to take it or to give it back, right? So, um, so we say, "Thy will, not mine, be done." Amen. Whatever God's will is for me. You know what I mean? Like, there's just no doubt. you know, um, and so I can say without a doubt this situation just really took a turn. And so I'm going forward with some Christmas stuff. Um, I did move a mitten for a personal friend. Um, the white one, the white Christmas with the tree in it that I had. Um, my friend really liked what I was doing, and he says, "You can count on me getting one from you." So that just really made my day. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your love and support, Susan. Um, that was really cool. I'm trying to learn and practice with CapCut because that's going to be everything. That is our. I did a post, and depending on when YouTube releases it, I chose to release it publicly now. Um, It said October 20th at midnight it's gonna release it, so I don't know. But it's an actual commercial for what I do. If you take a look at it's actually producing editing tools. That's what they're doing. They're using those special effects. They're using all of that stuff in commercials. So hey, um, it's a very fun, inexpensive way to market yourself. Take the tour. Remember when Windows 95 came out? Well, we had to take a tour and a tutorial on that. And once we learned it, it was very useful. I don't know, some of you older people who remember doing DOS. Oh my gosh, DOS was very unforgiving. And you had to command code everything. The Windows interface has those codes preloaded into it. So you're pointing and clicking now, um, which is, you know what I mean? More user friendly to us, right? Let me see if I can get this in here. See, my chat is working slow. Um, okay. So I've got some um, contact wallpaper, stick paper. It's supposed to be here this Wednesday. I'm going to go ahead and do our baker's mitt, our oven mitt, as Lisa, uh, Lisa Bell termed. So this is going to be our baker's mitt, our oven mitt. I discussed with you guys about the backside. So when we're doing, and when we're decorating and all that kind of stuff and hot gluing and taping and everything and anything, what happens is, here's our back and it's not very attractive per se. And when you're putting items in this stuff, you want it to be firm, you want it to be steady, you want it to be durable. So in the templates that Wendy has, she came up with a dummy back. So basically, I'm going to be decorating the back of this, gluing it onto the back, and now it's durable and it's a finished look concept to it. And you can decorate this back any way you want. So I was going to do some gold curly Q foil kitchen black backsplash paper on it. But the more I think about it, I want to put some puff on the back of it, and I want to finish it with the plaid buffalo. And then the window sheet for the lid. The window sheet goes in between here. I'm going to do some puffing on top. Add some pillow polyfill. To give it that poofy, mitten look. And then on the underside of the window sheet, I'm going to be decorating that with something, some plaid, but no fill because I need this to sit as flush as I can on the top of the mitten. So this is what I'm going to try and tackle and do tonight. So basically right now I'm just tracing out 2 of these because the window sheet sits in between them. If you're watching the replay on this, or don't plan or can't attend this whole live, I want to give you a little bit of experience from both Wendy and I. Do not, I got stuff everywhere. Where did it go? It's over here. Okay, so if this gives you guys a bit of an idea, here's what happens. This is a finished lid for another mitten. It's for the white Christmas mitten. Okay, so basically the window sheet here fits in between the two, right? And then you set it on the box. I just don't ever have enough space. Criminy. Okay. So we're going to sit it in between the lid, and then there's the gift concept. And then we secure the lid by wrapping ribbing around the wrist here, and then tie it in a bow. I bought some Velcro tabs. I got them from Dollar Tree. I'm going to put probably a couple tabs or one tab up here just to secure the top part. Because this is going to be upright, I'm going to go ahead and be able to pad the back and, put the buffalo plat on it and do that full mitten look to it, because it's going to be standing upright. Now, if you're laying that down, that's going to give it kind of an uneven look to it, and that's not very attractive to me. All right, so back to this. Um, I'm going to give you a couple reasons why we don't glue everything together, including the window sheet. Cut it out and then decorate this white stuff or whatever you plan on decorating it with afterwards. I'm not that good, and you're going to be gluing this. And when you glue this, anything sticky gets on this, it's a bitch to remove. And you're looking to get into a project, right? You're looking to bring more work on yourself. So her suggestion is to decorate, the top first. If you're going to decorate the underside, which I suggest you do, it just gives it more of a complete look. Go ahead and decorate that too, but make sure it's flat, because this has to sit flush here. You're not going to be decorating the top part of it, because this is going to be sandwiched between both this and the underside. Does that make sense? If you do want to do that, that's, your choice and stuff. I'm just giving some good practical experience here. It's the quickest, fastest, smoothest, effective, successful way in doing this. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of work did go into this creation. I'll tell you what a lot of work into was her doing a due diligence on creating the templates. And a lot of thought and hard work went into these templates to get it to a point where you're just tracing out, cutting out, and then gluing. If you do your steps right, you're going to have a very nice finished end product. Um, Not to say, you screw up the window sheet, okay, you get another piece, that kind of stuff. But she took out all of that. Um, so pioneering this, really was done on Wendy's part. And then coming up with a dummy backer for this as a nice covering. Um, so once you get your flow down with it, it actually goes together pretty quickly and pretty easily. It's not going to go together in 15 minutes or 30 minutes. I'd say plan on spending a good 2 hours on tracing, cutting out. You're putting your sides on, gluing and decorating. I'd say plan on spending about 2 hours, uh, for each concept. When I was showing these to friends and stuff and family and stuff, right away they liked them. I really love that one of my friends was like, count on me getting one of those. And here it is October. And he was like, just let me know how much it is so I can make sure I have the money. He wants one. So, that made me feel really good. Um, so I also want to state this is very inexpensive to do. The window sheet is like 60 cents, a dollar. I got 2 yards of fabric for $4 at Walmart, and it was just that good jersey material. Um, I got faux fur from eBay, and with the shipping, it averages out to about $3.50. Um, what did I say? Okay, about 36 inches. About $3 a yard. Um, let's see here. Wait, no. $3 a square foot and plus or minus some. I did a huge score from Dollar Tree and got 10 faux fur rolls. They were still at $1.25. And those are like what, a foot by a foot. And you're only going to be using an inch at a time on it. And so I pieced it on and overlapped with the next, pieced it and overlapped. So it blends in together and it looks like all one piece. All right, so I'm going to get into it tonight. I really want to what I want to do is I want to move this forward and know that they're done and have those set aside. And then once other stuff comes in for Valentine's, focus on that kind of a thing. Turban Girl BAGs, how are you, sweetheart? Grace and peace to you too. Turban Girl BAGs says grace and peace to family. All right, so I gotta remember. Okay, so I just wanted to explain a little bit about the next step that I'm bringing the mittens to, per se. All right. So I need to put this back with the white box and keep this here. And I just used old shipping boxes. You can use old Amazon boxes. Wendy suggested if you get the mittens on her tutorial, she has the link on Amazon where you can get this pet glass. She is suggesting this because it's easy to cut. When you get into that thicker plexiglass and you want those nice smooth corners, that's just hard to cut even on a straight line. And I couldn't imagine how you would cut around the corners, but this is perfect. It's durable, it's sturdy, and yet easy to cut. So, what was I going to say? Mittens. Trying to think of how I want to put that link up. I'll be putting the link to the plexiglass on this live and all the other lives that I have the mittens in progress on. All is well. Excited to catch your live. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. I've been going on live at nights because it's just so much quieter. I can get more work done. It's not so cray-cray. But I really want to encourage you guys, if you can, to go watch my commercial for the gifts. I put a link. It's a short. It would be under shorts on my channel. And it's titled Valentine's. It's only 25 seconds, but I had a lot of fun doing it. I think it would be a great way for you guys to promote your business. If you're going on Facebook Marketplace, eBay, Etsy, I think if you put one of those commercials on your channel, I think you do very well. So, they make things fun and interesting. I opted in on doing the trial with CapCut. So I get 30 days free. Then for the next 30 days, I pay $1.99, which puts me into November and then December, and then it goes $9.99 a month. Or you can do something like $89 for the premium for the full year. This is something where you can really work smarter, not harder. If you don't do this, there's going to be people who are, and you're going to get passed up. I'm just going to state that right now. Unless you have, your brand established, and you've got your regulars, and even your regulars, believe me, there's always interest out there. Somebody's always going to have that. Um, we're always keeping things in mind, you know, and it's good just to be kept in mind as other options, right? And some of those other options might be those who are doing, their commercials. This isn't a reel. These are commercials that you can be doing with this software. There's kids, there's teenagers that are into gaming, and this software will do that, right? It's simple, it's very impromptu, it gives you lots of choices. So I want to encourage you guys to do that. You don't have to be, a full editor, producer kind of like type thing. You only need to do one. Just do one good one. Feature your gifts, your all occasions, your seasonals, and I guarantee you your business will skyrocket. Okay? All right. I've stated it before. The most views that I get on YouTube is from shorts that have music. You just do a short, put music to it. If you need views, that's going to do it for you. People have short attentive spans. Anybody's got 25 seconds. And so they tend to be more curious and into that type of a thing. Oh my Lord. LaBrenda Cones, my little partner in crime. How are you tonight? I was thinking about you. I was like, where's my LaBrenda? Um, Lisa Bell says, hey LaBrenda. Um, I was discussing about the importance of doing software video editing, LaBrenda. If you could give your experience in chat about how important that is, I would really appreciate it. Um, I was telling everyone, and if you're watching the replay, listen, these are commercials that you can be doing, not reels. Not just, these aren't shorts. These could be commercials you're doing. I posted one on my channel. It's under shorts. And I hope I titled it Valentine's Day commercial for 2026 because it is. That's what they're doing. They're using the same editing software that's available to us right now. That's how commercials are done. They have the special effects. They've got the music. You want to be in them? Guess what? You can be in them. But, do a commercial for your business. Post it on your Etsy, post it on your eBay, post it on Facebook Marketplace. Let it market you. Work smarter, not harder, because you're going to get passed up. Why do people buy the cereal boxes with all the cartoons? Because it's fun. It's exciting. It looks like it tastes good. And you know what it does? Generics have just gone downhill. But this is going to bring you. So this software is the tide that's going to raise all the boats. It's there. You just need to sail. You need to row. It's a very impromptu system. Click a few buttons. You're not going to make it's very forgiving. That's how I started learning it. I just started pushing buttons. So if you can go watch my short, it's 25 seconds. It's a commercial for this. It'll give you an idea of how you can do your own commercials. Okay? Anybody who's in chat right now, if you could offer some experience with video editing software and imaging, please do that. Please give that. I was sharing about how the most views that I got is from shorts with music. I mean, it was like anytime I go in my analytics, uh, it says higher than normal, higher than usual on the shorts with the music. Okay. All right. So we're going to continue on with our mittens, and I need to do a couple of these. This is for our lid. This is for our window sheet. This is what our window sheet is going to be sitting in between. I know, who would have thought? A commercial. All right. I'm gonna put that aside. How is everybody doing tonight? I just want to ask and reach out and give some love to you all. Have a sip of coffee. I was saying in last night's live that I haven't been on because I've been having video, what I thought phone problems because of buffering and pixelating, and my phone charger was bad. So I didn't have enough operating power to fully process the live stream, if that makes sense. Let's see what this looks like. Are you guys seeing better picture quality on here? I hope so. My voice is hoarse because I've been yelling and screaming over being frustrated at shipping, Walmart shipping. um, so I got my coffee right here. I've said it before, the coffee is good, you guys. So like I said, the software is it's free also. They've got, okay, so what happens is they have free templates that you can use. And then they've got the more, the graphics, the special effects, templates that you can use also if you join. So just try a couple. All you're doing is just uploading your photos or a video into their template, and they do the rest. Then when you save it, they also give you an MP4 file of it. So how's your projects coming along, Miss LaBrenda? Are you working on Christmas, Valentine's Day, or Mother's Day? Oh my goodness. I know it's just been one thing after another here. All right, so I'm going to trace out the lids. And I'm going to have to tape this part over here. This under part. I've been watching some talent out there, Miss Teasley. She did some really cute envelopes. And she said you could make them like little journals or little organizing things. I suggested a recipe share where she can, you can write your recipes down and, share them as a gift, and even put the ingredients in, those small jars with that share envelope that she came up with. She's a very creative lady. And so I've been watching her channel. People who really subscribed, I've been watching theirs just to get an idea of what their style is. But yeah, that's all they're doing. I mean, when they're doing commercials, they have the same software, just people's faces, models, that kind of a thing. They're just doing different. That's all they're doing basically. That's what they're using for special effects. So why can't we use it? That's what I say. Okay, I think I get a better trace upside down. try and keep that in as close as I can. I have a white pencil. Oh, okay. Let me try this. My muscles just spasm, so I'm trying to help me keep a straight edge. All right. What's going on with my chat? I think my chat is stuck. Doggone it. Okay. All right. Just move this roller coaster along here. My commercial. All right. These have got to be exact because they're going to be glued to each other, and the window sheet's going to be glued in between them. My muscles are just all right. Maybe try and get somewhat of a line up here with it. Go with my darker. Doggone it. This is like not. All right, here we go. I'm having fun with this project. I really love it. This is something that, that I really enjoy. I get to enjoy doing. Things go along a lot better. The flow is a lot better. The end product is a lot better when I like what I'm doing and it's fun. All right. I mentioned before that these templates, Wendy has a free download of them on her channel. So, you might want to take advantage of that. She offers free downloads. I think it's extremely nice of her to do that. Where did I go with this? Here. And here. Okay. What's going on with this chat? I'm not doing a solid color. I'm going to be doing the buffalo plaid because it's that baker's oven mint look that I'm going for. You could definitely do a solid and it would go really nice with it. But I think with the top part, just a little bit of pillow. What is that? Polyfill fluff. And then the buffalo plaid on top of it would give the overall effect of that oven mitt look. Now the white Christmas mitten has a solid. It's all white, with the white faux fur on it, which is actually chicken feathers. Oh my goodness. So, yeah, we've had a lot of birthdays this month. We've had a lot of Virgos and we've had a lot of Libras. Both of those astrological signs have beauty in their characteristics. Like beauty, like art, have an appreciation for it and like to work with it. So I found that really interesting. Of all the zodiacs, and there's quite a few that have those characteristics within them, but for some reason, basketing is favored by Virgos and Libras. So, that's really neat to see. All right. Just you know, a little bit of food for thought there. All right, I'm gonna do the other one, and then I'm gonna start cutting them out. Do 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 do. You know, you could do funny voiceovers. You could do your commercials for your Easters and your Christmases. Um, there's a lot you can do with that software. If you don't innovate and even get just do it just one, you're gonna get passed up. And I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that happening with you guys. You know, I think commercials and packaging and decoration is what makes this industry a $1 billion industry. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I have no problem with AI. AI has been, well, boy, do I want to get into this. um, we know the goods, the bads, and the uglies of both stuff when it comes to, you know, I mean, all right. So I'm just going to say AI is getting a lot better. My experience is that it's getting a lot better. Previous experience has just been an absolute nightmare, and it has ruined my life. Just ruined it. Um, Whatever AI is being evolved or innovative and, you know, doing good, it's made my life a lot more easier. So, in regards to that topic matter, they basically told us we have like no choice. They're just going to go ahead and they're going to take the websites down and they're going to go ahead and update. And if you lose your information, well, it's never them, right? So we've been told, you know, they're going to do whatever they want. They are doing whatever they want. It's not okay. Um, you know, I don't want to go into too much with that. What I want to say is set that aside because we have lots of talent out there that is great with creating software engineering, doing video imaging, coding. Um, and we want to take advantage of that just for what we have right here in our little confines. Um, let's see here. Turban Girl LaBrenda says, hey. So I had fun doing mine, and it really did not take that long to do. So it's very impromptu and all of that. All right. Um, I just want to get this line more defined here because I'm getting ready to cut them out. I gotta remember which one. Okay. I'm going to take, do I want to do that? Let's go ahead and do that. So I've had to tape a part of this. I'm going to need to, um, take a little bit of this and just bring this in a bit more because I'm not that good. You know, I'm not that good, man. This can't be one of those shortcuts that I'm going to get away with. Okay. So I'm just go ahead and just come down right there. And then same thing with the other side. There's so many lonely faces out there. It just really breaks my heart. I can't do this right now. I'm gonna start crying. I can't do it. I just can't do it, man. Um anyhow. Okay. I got these non-stick Teflon scissors. They're Fiskars or Fiskars. I got them from Amazon. These are excellent for dealing with tape. They cut tape so good without getting any gunk or buildup on the blades. And, the tape doesn't stick to it. So you can just, gently pull it off and apply it to whatever you're using your tape for. So I just wanted to talk just a little bit about my tools. I'm trying to remember which one. I think it was these. Oh yeah, okay. Maybe what is it? These ones. Trying to remember which one cut best for what I'm doing with things. My medicine has me like, but I'm awake. You know what I mean? I'm like trying to fight like that grogginess of it. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna turn these around. It's just right. Get these munchers right on up in here. I'm so glad to be able to do this. I made like the best cream of chicken with biscuits. Holy cow. It was like really delicious. I made enough for leftovers. I always do that. Because why not, right? Okay, I need to get this. I'm going to go ahead and come in on this, my Fiskars, the taped area. Yeah, because we're now dealing with that part of it. Is anybody working on anything unique tonight that they want to share or talk about? I'm looking forward for your commercial. I really appreciate it, Turban BAGs. I think, you know what? You can do it too. Okay? All I'm going to say is I used a template. It came out of CapCut. I just chose some, little video shorts or, short videos and just sent it on over. It's a very impromptu system. Chose a couple pictures and done. It did it all. You're gonna I'm blown away by it, okay? I don't want to brag or anything. I'm blown away by it. And for that to be, it's got to be pretty something, and it is. It's a little bit that does a lot, is what I'll state on that. Yeah, go ahead and borrow it. Borrow it all you want. There's more than enough out there. I think something like that will keep us strong. I don't like the word competitive. It keeps us innovative. I want you guys to look into that, and I want you guys to not just look into it. I want you guys to just start right now, little by little, or what little time you have, get to working with it. because we're still in October. There's still some time. But when you see my commercial, uh, I hope you're going to want one yourself. All right. you know, I mean, there's nothing more, when you're doing all that, you're producing, you're editing, you're doing all that, you know, you're just basically doing what they're doing. Okay, you can add all the special effects, everything. It's so cool in there. All right, let me come around on this one. The only thing I did on it was I said that it is not for kids. And I do that with all of my videos. They, you need to be 18 or over to be here. And that's just to protect myself at all angles. Because the last thing I want is for some damn hacker to get into my channel and to get into my stuff and really run amok and spend God only knows how long. You can go to jail. You could be tied up in court battles, lawyers' fees, and everything. So I keep all my stuff 18 years or older. And that's what I'm going to state on that part of it. But it was really cool. It uploaded an MP4 format. And you can keep it, you can share it on whatever media file you choose. You do X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. You can do all of that. And, I titled it Valentine's Day Gifts, for 2024. And in the captions it says coming soon. It's so cool. I love that thing. So. Okay, so make just a couple more clips in here. All right. Okay. Just trying to get these done little by little. And then what I'm going to have to do next is trim the inside of it. In fact, if I could bring the cuff down, well, I can't. All right, I got to keep all that the way it is. All right. I almost thought it was not this is for the window. So we're cutting out the window. I'm just doing the main mitten part right now. And then I'll be cutting out 1 inch around on the inside of the mitten for it. So when I do Valentine's, I cater to the younger group. They're the ones who are mostly dating. That kind of a thing. It's rare to see 50s, 60s, and 70-year-olds dating, even 40-year-olds, because people are mostly married by 30. And although they do celebrate, but it's like maybe a simple rose when they go out to dinner or something. The younger ones, my experience is they love the big, outrageous baskets. So, but I keep a target audience for all as much as I can. Okay, this is coming along nicely. I was watching this guy. His name is Andrew Bustamante. Let's see here. Does this video text something big is coming out? Yes, that's it. That's it. You got it. You found it, Turban BAGs. That's my commercial. Thank you so much. You're such a sweetheart. You're that's my commercial. You found it. So good. YouTube must have posted it. Um, so I watch some YouTube channels, and it's interesting how they all come out at the same time with the same narrative type stuff. You like it? Thank you, Turban Girl, BAGs. I really appreciate it. Um, I was sharing about how I feel like Valentine's Day is geared more towards the um, younger crowd of people. You know, by the age of 30, 40, 50, 60, people have been married for a while. Um, you know, they usually get a rose and go out to dinner, and that the biggest baskets that I moved is with the younger group because they're dating. You know, they're romancing. Um, they're getting engaged, right? So, I try to um, gear my um, marketing, if you will, towards the younger crowds. I was also sharing that most of my YouTube activity has gotten activity, YouTube views, kind of a thing, has been from the younger audience, like say, what is it, age 25 to 35, and it's been my shorts with music that's been added to it, or that has the caption editing added to it. So if that helps you guys, and giving you guys feedback of my experience on that, you know, I hope it helps you. But yeah, I love my commercial. We're coming out heavy, hard, heavy hitting. You want you want your customer base. You know, you want the world to know you are a heavy hitter. All right, you are giving it. You are giving it, and you're giving all you got. Right, and what you want is them to, like, I want that right now. Okay. Okay, I want to go home with that. Ladies, they want that, right? They want that stiletto, right? They want that um, perfume. And, you know, if you do and use that stuff, that software, it's going to help you with that. Oh, I rest assure you. So, where did that other one go? Just wanted to wind this up some more. Okay. I'm just taking a more bit of a permanent marker so I can see my corners better in here. Where my curves are coming in into. All right, so doggone it. My tape is getting in the way here. I just got to cut just a bit. But yeah, that's all they're doing. You know, you can even make movies. You can do that. All that software, editing, sound effects, background, you know, you could change your scenery. That's all Hollywood is doing. You know? So what that software does is it gives a means for all of us to be able to do it too. Right? You can make your own cartoons. You know, whatever you want in there with it. And, you know, I keep saying, you know, I apologize for that, guys. I'm just trying to do this and talk at the same time. You know, we want something sexy. There's nothing wrong with sexy, you know, something with some pizzazz, some jazz, kind of a thing. And to do it with style. So, do it with taste. Do it with fun. Do it with excitement. Um, I love that video. I love my commercial. I sent it to some family and some friends, and I'm pretty sure they're thinking, Shannon, is that you? Oh, so, um, I mean, for Pete's sakes, Richard Branson is like 80 years old, and he's still hiring Pam Anderson to be half naked up on the wing of his airplane. Okay. um, now I don't. I wouldn't say I need to go that far with that, and wouldn't. Um, you know, because we don't need necessarily those perfect people to make or break the marketing. You know, you can do it with music, sound effects, all of it. So, and I know there's people out there that do nasty baskets. I don't do those. What you see on that commercial is what you get, and that's all you get. Okay? Not even in an incognito way. I don't do nasty baskets. You know, or as Yummy T would call them, nasty baskets. Oh, she's a funny lady. All right. You know, I don't, you know, I just personally don't, and it's a personal choice that I don't. So, okay. All right, now I'm going to take my window. So, you know, I'm creating the sandwich, you know, I'm creating the lid. Now I'm going to trace the inside of this, and I'm going to be cutting that out. In this case, it's just easier to do two at the same time. You know, do one and then do the other one, do one and the other one, and then after that, I got the lid. Some things it's in multiples. When you can do multiples, it flows nicely. Yeah, right. It's your thing. Do what you want to do. All right. Okay. All right, let's see here. Doggone it. I got some tape in a rough spot. There we go. And I'm gonna go ahead and just get that on out. Boy, I'm excited to get these lids done tonight. I mean, this lid done tonight to bring it towards something further. It's fun to do something creative and to find out and discover more things, like how durable things are. You know, the quality of what you're making. You know, it's like box mix, cake mix versus homemade. You know, it's just so much better. Um, you know, I get that out of this too. And you know, believe it or not, I mean, this is just all the stores are doing. This is all the factories are doing. They're using cardboard and wallpaper. You know, why can't we? Right? Okay. You guys are just wonderful. I like having you guys here tonight. Um, how do I want to do this? All right, I'm going to trace out the points with the white pencil, and then I'm going to go around and do the inside. I hate that when there's just a little bit of movement, because, my muscles spasm and they jerk, and it's like crap. I hate that. um, so to get this as best as I can. All right. Um, when Wendy did these templates with design, what she kept in mind is being able to see as much inside the box as you possibly can while still keeping it, a lid. And what she came up with, leaving this inch, frame, if you will, works best with this concept, with this product, within the construct of it. So I think it's, pretty ingenious there. All right, have some more coffee. Who's making dinner tonight? Is anybody making dinner tonight? You guys have who's making dinner and who's eating leftovers? Get some more coffee here. Okay. My chat is getting stuck. You guys are just wonderful. Yeah, my commercials like the next like a trailer for Spider-Man or King Kong. I love it. I love the sound effects with it. It was fun. All right. I need this white pencil. So yeah, I was saying I watch channels, and it's like, here we go with this, interesting how certain channels out there on certain subject matters happen to release their, content at the same time. Um, but anyways, if you guys have seen Andrew Bustier, he's a CIA agent. Um, I can't remember if he's currently working for them or if he's formerly working for them, but he wrote a book and all this kind of stuff. And basically, he talks about um, what operatives are in the works that they've done, why they do them, how they do them, what goes on with spying, how to spy, what makes a great spy, and all their skill sets that they have, that they're trained in. And you know, I mean, he's talked about like um, one of the skill sets is surveillance and the different types of surveillance that they do, and dear God, I mean, so like in our personal lives and everything else, I'm like, you know what? That's just too much. I don't want to. I don't want a hall monitor working in my life, and I don't want to be a hall monitor. Does anybody else like feel that way? They're done. They've done destroyed any kind of trust, faith, or anything like that I have for them. You know, their whole means for coming about, you're not going to restore any kind of faith in that. Absolutely not. But like, so he wrote a book, but had to give it to the CIA to review just to see if there's any material that they don't want him releasing in his book, like declassified stuff before he went and published it because he didn't want any kind of backlash coming from them on his career with being with the CIA. Yeah, I don't want to know what skill sets you have as a spy, or he says basically everybody has some kind of a skill or talent, and he even put a little test or quiz on his channel to see what skill set you have. I don't want to live that way. I'm not, if I got to do all that, like I can't be in my moment. And that's what's happening is everybody's having to be masters, surveillors, so that we feel like we can have some kind of a flow within our lives. I just don't want to live that way. Does anybody else live that way? um, anyhow, you guys, my chat the feed is stuck. I don't know why this keeps sticking. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. All right. Okay, here. Okay, I can't see. The last thing I can see in chat is from Turban Girl BAGs that she liked my commercial. So my chat is stuck. So I'll just be talking along and working along, if you will. I had a pencil sharpener. Let's see what I did with it. All right. Now, I feel if they got to go to those lengths, to feel what the hurt is doing, have they heard anything? Are they concerned about anything and anything that could lead back to them? I think that's why they're there and why they're doing what they're doing and all the mass surveillance that they claim your data is your data. It's safe. It's just unbelievable. So, I just don't want to live that way, you know what I mean? So I have had to, I don't bring nobody like I don't keep anybody in my personal inner circle at all, and I keep to myself, so I can have peace. I don't want to have to be paranoid and all that stuff just to be overly functional in my life, it's not a way I want to live. So I just do the best I can with that, and I could tell you horror stories about what has been done in my life, and any kind of institution, it's done financially, religiously, just all of that stuff, it's done. So we're going to be moving on to something better, and I was sharing with you about AI, the number it's done on my life. It's helped destroy it. Who's behind all the programming in it. But what I'm noticing is some brilliant stuff, some really good stuff being done with it. Anyhow, that's all I'm going to share on that. So I'm taking this now and I'm tracing out the inside because we're going to be cutting out the inside so that we can do our lid as our final project. I need to cut this out a bit more. Doggone it. This I do want to get um, as close to perfect as I can, particularly with the what defines the shape of our mitten. Here, here, all these angles, these three angle points is really what gives the definition to the mitten. I want to get these as exact as I can with everything that I'm utilizing, material wise, with the polyfill wise, um, because as you're adding stuff, this can get too bulky, and you're building it and not paying mind to your points, then it begins to be a big old puff ball of something. So I want to have padding and material, but I want the defined lines. And so I'm only going to be using just a little bit of pillow stuffing for that. What's that, polyfill? Otherwise it starts getting too big and bulky and just looks like a big old ball pillow of something, right? So, okay. Trying to bring you guys up, and just right there is where I want that focus to be. All right. Keep this focus more on my project and not on me. Okay. Yeah, all the trolls, the AI troll bots, all that stuff. Um, anyhow, I was just gonna say, when it's good, you know, it's good. When it's not, it's a nightmare. Believe me, I know that. So it feels like I almost like want to say that something good has stepped in with the development of it, because it has done nothing but destroy my life for the past 20 years. 20 years. Um, and now I've been starting to recently see some, like some good stuff with it. I still see that some of the crap with it. However, I can't negate that I'm seeing some good stuff going on with it. So apparently they feel like we have to have it. It's a must be. We've been told, we've just been plowed over and just been told this is how it's going to be. So hopefully it continues to get on a better route for us. Because I'm so sick and tired of the James Bond, Mission Impossible crowd. Really sick of it. Oh, jeez, I grabbed the wrong scissors. All right, and let me see how to find that's not. How? Oh, jeez, that's got to be more of a curve. How am I going to do that? You just hit this like so. So my reasons for being on YouTube is, because now for some reason, call me stupid or not, but I can store content on YouTube as to where on my personal phone, it's, I've gone through phones, I've lost videos, I can't store as much stuff on it, and as a personal vlog of mine. So that's my reasons for being here. I'm not I don't want to be monetized. I don't want 1,000, 6,000 of subscribers. That looks like hell. I see everybody, get monetized and they just look so tired and ragged and wore out because, of the slave labor that YouTube lays out for monetization. I'm not interested in that at all. So that looks like it sucks. um, so no, I don't want to grow my channel to those extremes. I'm very thankful for those who got me to my 50. I'll be forever grateful to you guys because now I can go live and it posts, like that. But if I do videos and try to upload it to YouTube, oh my, it's like all day. And then if I do personal videos, I can't share it without trimming the video because the file's too big. So that's why I am here. All right, let's see. Okay. So I'm going to continue on here. Okay. Ooh. I'll be all right with that. All right. Just going to do a Mach 4 right now. Not a Mach 4. Has anybody gotten any good hauls lately? Um, Anybody gotten any, I've been seeing people getting some great stuff, some different stuff. Apparently, Hobby Lobby has some cute little containers that are like bows. They looked really cute, that I saw a person sharing on. Okay, so now I'm going to be doing the start of this. Where's the marker? It's right there. And I'm going to go just carefully come back and line that up. And then, okay. That's good. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna see over here how much we need to take off on the underside of this. Alright, I got it. Okay. Okay. Oh, these are the ones I need. What am I thinking? I'm just going to clean up these edges. thinking, how did I do this to the inside? I'm trying to think how did I start? Oh, I know. Oh my gosh. I got a really cool little ceramic blade thingy. Oh, do I love this thing. Can't wait to show it to you guys. As I'm sitting here trying to remember, what did I use to cut these? Now I remember. Uh, where... Okay, here is my little ceramic cutter. It works like kind of like an X-Acto knife. This thing is awesome. It's ceramic, but you know, fragile enough. I mean, not fragile enough, but neat enough to where it doesn't cut you. Because they're this stuff like butter, you know, and I mean like butter. I got this at Dollar General. And it is made by West Scott. This is supposed to be like a ceramic blade. So I don't know what it's called, but it's Westcott ceramic blade. Exact knife is what I would try and look up if, you know, if you wanted to look into getting one. But this is what it looks like. You know, you can fold it. I got it at Dollar General. So if you guys are there and you want to go in their hardware, like tools area or crafting or packaging tape area in Dollar General, this is my new best friend. I love this tool. So I'm going to continue on. It makes for great quick work fast. Okay. There we go. Okay. All right. So, all right. I think I can probably get in here now and figure out the rest on this. Work my way around it. Let me... Okay. I'm going to come back around. I like this way better than the X-Acto knife. This thing is so neat. And look, you know, it works so well here. You know, I'm not cutting myself like as if I would with the X-Acto knife. You got to be very careful with those. Those are some really sharp blades. And they will, yes, look at this, scratching my table. You know, but docile enough for my fingers in case I miss. So what was I saying? Docile enough for, yeah, those X-Acto knives will take your finger off in a matter of seconds. You know, they are dangerous. Careful if you're using those. Okay. So we're going to come on down more. Okay, try and get this in here now and give it the work. Give it the work surrounds. All right. Okay, this is starting to pop out now. My 3 cats, they had their dinner earlier and they are sound asleep. They love their their treat at night. I give them a little bit of salmon. And, you know, their schedule is they get their salmon and then it's lights out. And they like that a lot. But they get cranky. They get really cranky. I just thought that was funny. If they don't get enough sleep, they can get cranky. All right. So now I'm popping out this inside. You know, I use this blade and I'm just popping it out at this point. You know, I try to use it as much as I can because it's just so user friendly and a lot more safer to use. And, you know, you can pop it out better than you can with scissors. So see how it's just coming out? Our inside is coming out here. Wow, like butter that's coming out, see? So we're getting the inside, we're getting the top part of our lid. And all I gotta do is just there we go. see if I can't get, here we go. All right. Okay, so now, okay, so now this inside is coming out easily, just like that. Okay, got to take this little bit of connection and let's get that part right there. All right, and voila, a success. We have an inside. So I have the other one. Where did I put the other one? I'm drawing a blank. Okay, well, there's the window sheet. Okay, there's the template. Do. Oh. Here. Okay, that looks like that's for the back. Need one bottom of box. Okay, only need one bottom. That's our bottom. I'm trying to keep my template straight. This is a template for white. This is of our own. I traced 2 of these. Where did the other one go? Is it this one? It could be. I had to cut it out. Okay, it is. All right. I had to figure out where I went with what. I'm just going to go ahead with this, and I'm going to trace it in all black marker because it's going to be covered up once it's finished. This is just our pattern that we're doing. Okay. All right. Okay, let's see this again right here. Double check this angle. How am I? Okay. Perfect. Bring this part on the window part. Okay. Take my little X-Acto knife here. I've got my coffee. Check the chat again. Okay. Mm. I'm hoping to get this done. I'm debating whether I want another cup of coffee or not, and I believe I do because my throat is still sore. All right. Get the percolator on. Alright, I'm back. I've got my full cup of coffee. And two people are. Thank you for being in here. Turban Girl, you're still in here. I'm so happy you're still in here. Thank you. Thank you for being here. So I just took this little ceramic knife and popped out now the inside of the lid here. So I'm getting ready to do this with the next one. Whoops. Doggone it. My apologies, guys. So I'm going to do it with the next one without hopefully dropping the phone again. All right. There we go. Okay. Put those down over there. It's like we never have enough space. Oh no. Now it's saying slow charging. Okay. I can't have that. All right. right. So I'm going to go ahead and I traced out in black the inside, and I'm going to go ahead and cut that out, and we're going to be finishing the bottom part of the lid. I usually just, do a rough end, come around, and we're just leaving an inch on the outside because the inside is going to be the window sheet. And we're coming along. Has anybody noticed, like, how many of your subscribers are incognito? Like, over 2/3 of my subscribers are incognito, and I have like 105 subscribers. Let's see here. Okay. Reading Shannon popping in to say hello. Hello, Jeanette. And Turban Girl BAGs says hello and grace and peace to you, sweetheart. We got our Maria Mardon Creations in the house. We have the birthday girl. How are you, sweetheart? I was gonna say, Maria, on one of your recent, it was either a short or a post, something. I posted the link to those dry ice packs to Amazon. So I said I was gonna do it for you, and I did it. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to help you with that, because I know it's tamale season for you. So if you've got family that you want to ship to, friends, or make a little bit extra on Facebook Marketplace, eBay or Etsy or anything like that, I saw a YouTube where this lady shipped a cheesecake. She went through what she does to ship her stuff, and she posted everything, and those dry ice packs were one of the things that she had posted. So what she does is she just, freezes a bunch of them and then takes them out as she needs them, throws them in a box, wraps them up, and out the door they go. It took maybe 5 minutes for her to put it together. And, that's what she does. And I thought, wow, that's a really cool, quick way to do something. All right. Okay, let's see if it hasn't gone all the way. There we go. It's starting to pop. Just do it a couple times. Should come right on out. Your squats. I saw your squats. Congratulations on doing your 5 squats a day. How is that coming, sweetie? I'm going to go look for them, Shannon. Thank you. You're very welcome. Oh, thank you, Turban Girl. You're such a sweetheart. And Jeanette popped in to say hi. Turban Girl BAGs is really happy that you guys popped in on this live here. All right. So I was showing these before in prior lives, and I was saying that you could do, because there's so much window sheet and the depth is so neat inside these mitten boxes, that you can, create a nice little winter scene inside and use them as decorations. You don't have to just use them as gift boxes. You can use them as shadow boxes. Put them up on your displays. Give them out as gifts. Move them as a concept. These things are really neat. They're really different and they're really unique. So, all right, see if we can get this to get my scissor in this, and there we go. Try and fuzzy cut along with this. All right, I got too much connective cardboard in here. Okay. Well, I know this tape isn't helping much either, but gotta have it. All right, see how that's coming out? It's popping out of that's now starting to come out and just working it out and start popping itself out here. That's why I really love this blade. It's a ceramic blade. I got it at Dollar General. Okay, you can find it where they sell the X-Acto knives. That's what I meant to state. Okay, all right. It's always nice to have company when I craft. It can get lonely, you know. All right. So see how this is popping out now? And it's coming out. Just one more time probably with this will do it. All right. Okay. Okay, we get some of the where's those Teflon shears, my Teflon tape, scissors, and we're going to be coming in here. And then we're coming up in here. Okay, and all right, this one popped out a lot more easier. I don't know why that is, but success. We are done. These right here, because it's I cut this out. I'm gonna try and utilize this as a smaller mitten. Part of it. Well, see if I can't do something with these. All right, I'm gonna decorate the upper and the lower. This part's done. I can put that back with this. And here's our window sheet for this. There we go. All right, I want to keep doggone it. My apologies, you guys. All right, now that that stuff is out and of the way, and try and keep you guys so you can see, you know, what I'm crafting on here. You know what I also like to do when I do crafts is I like to watch other people's channels. um, you know, see what they got going on, how it supports the channels. Okay, let's see if I can't get this just right here. Wow, this is getting real fussy. I don't like that. Alright, well. What on earth? And, oh, this cord isn't cooperating. I have a little 4-foot cord, and I'm trying to work with it as best as I can. The problem ended up being my charger. My phone charger needed to be replaced. That's why I was getting so much buffering and stuff. Okay. Here we go. Oh, this thing is like a pain. Whoops. Okay. Let me tape it down. I'm going to have to tape this down. You guys. Can't believe this thing. It was working so beautifully before. Alright, now that I go ahead and say I'm going to tape you down, it goes and does this. Okay. Alright, I'm going to try and catch up in the chat. Very cool. You guys are trying to catch up here. Okay. You are doing 50 a day. Is that 50 a day? 50 squats a day, Maria? Holy cow. Jeanette says, wow, Maria, that's great. I'm still way behind and haven't started creating concepts. Maria says, Jeanette, I am doing 40. Oh, wait. Maria says, Jeanette, I'm doing 50 squats. It's an exercise a day now, not gift, not concepts, not gift. I'm also behind on gifts myself. Careful with that, Maria. You don't want to tear any muscles or any tendons with that. That's impressive. You got to be sore. If you're doing 50 squats a day, have you heard of lunges? Huh? I think you might be ready for lunges. And I suggest no more than 5 a day. Okay. Turban Girl says you are rocking your fitness goals, Maria. She says, I'm trying, Turban Girl. Oh, my legs and hind parts are over here cramping at the thought of doing squats. No doubt about it. Oh my gosh, that's impressive. My body is that emotion too, Mrs. Jeanette. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I could see that being hard on that. Okay. Well, 50 squats is impressive. I'm very proud of you. Um, so I'm guessing you're doing a five squat increments throughout the day. Because you could do squats anywhere. You know, you're in the kitchen, take 5 seconds, do 5 squats. Then with the bathroom, washing your hands, do 5 squats, kind of a thing. That's really impressive. I just And because you've had a knee replacement and stuff, like be gentle. All right. Okay. Guess what we get to do? Dun, 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 dun. We have our lid. Just gonna go ahead and oh, Jesus. We've got our lid, and now we are ready to decorate. So, that was not bad. That was not bad at all. I love that little ceramic. I love this thing. If you guys go into Dollar General, where the X-Acto knives are, this is here. Look at this. This is ceramic. Doesn't hurt to touch, nothing, and it cuts like butter. This is a great tool to have on hand. So I can close this up, and we are ready to move it forward with our baker's box. This is for my neighbor. He's a good kid. He's like really young. And, he's like, I'm going to get him a baker's box this year. Usually I bake cookies and pass them out. I'm going to get him some cookies. All right, I need to find my plaid. I want you guys to know these mittens, they're very versatile. And, you could do anything with them. I mean, literally anything with them. And they're fun. I enjoy having them. Okay, what did I do with plaid? Oh, here it is. Okay. So I got this buffalo plaid from Walmart. So a new subscriber came and was telling me that they sew, but they haven't been able, there's no material stores. They live miles away from one. I used to quilt. This is shit fabric. The fabrics that are out there is shit fabric. Quilting is very, you gotta have good construct when you're quilting. You gotta have sturdy thread. You gotta have quality material. A high thread count. The thread counts that I would start at in quilting is 700. I have material that goes all the way up to 1200 thread count, because you want that durable, sturdy material that's going to cut easily. It's going to sew nicely. It's not going to fray on your edges. Fabric actually takes a beating when you're quilting, because we're cutting, sewing, cutting, sewing, cutting, sewing. One strip may be cut 50 different times, as you're working your blocks. And so you need durable, sturdy material. This is how I feel about it. So I haven't quilted in a long time, and I miss it. I'd rather be quilting than doing this. I really feel bad because, I went on her channel and, I introduced myself. I said, yes, I quilt, and haven't because of the shit material that's out there. Now, what I'm going to state is, this is, this could be used as a keepsake and everything else because it's got durable construction, but this stuff is hot glued and everything on here, and this will work for that. The jersey material that I got from Walmart, I got 2 yards for $4. It works perfectly for simple crafts like this. For quilting, hell no. So I just wanted to discuss a little bit about some of the materials that I'm using. I did suggest to her Walmart online has material, has fabric, but I meant to follow up in a kinder way with, they have shit material. You know, it's why I don't quilt anymore, and it's also why I basket. Um, but I wanted her to know for this kind of stuff, they got Walmart material, um, you know, that's cheaply priced that works for this. It'll work for this. So I just need to trim down a little bit more of my outer edges here. I'm just now realizing this. So yeah, you could do a nice, you know, snow scene. I'm calling one of the gift concepts a white Christmas mitten basket. Yeah, and you could do a snow scene with gifts inside. All kinds of stuff can be done with it. Okay. Just for a quick reference, I'm going to go ahead and label these right now. Bottom. And then top. So I don't get these mixed up. And they do got to both be facing the same way in the same direction. So we got our pieces cut out. I'm going to start decorating. I decided to do all plaid with this. I'm going to quickly be doing a, what was I going to say? I decided I'm going to do a little bit of polyfill around the top, around the edges, and then put the plaid material over it. You know, we're going to be trimming the edges that way, but I'm going to put a little bit of stuffing on there because I want it to be a little bit puffy. You know how like an oven mitten is? So I want it to have that effect, and it'll give it more dimension and depth because it'll be popped out and away from the window a little bit and give it, you know, that mitten feel and give more symmetry and dimension to the mitten box. So let's see what we got on here. Okay. Wow, that's impressive, Maria. 50 squats in the morning. Yeah, that's impressive. Good for you. I'm so proud of you. Yay. I'm so proud of you, sweetheart. That's got to make you feel, you know, good and give you a sense of accomplishment first thing in the morning. You know, now that you got those done and you're staying consistent and tracking along, I'm so proud of you, sweetie. You look good. So I'm going to tell you, you look real good. And thank you for sharing with us on that. All right. Okay, so this is my top. I went ahead and labeled it and, you know, right here in the black marker top. I didn't do it with the crayon pencil thing because that would erase too fast with as much as I'm going to be working on this. So polyfill. I'm going to go ahead and start the trim on this. I'm just going to be measuring it. I want to do about 2 inches on it because I got the top part and then I got the sides and then I got the underside. I am only going to be doing polyfill on the top of the lid because I want it to sit as flat as it can against the window sheet. So I want you guys to know that. All right, I need to cut out some of this stuff a bit. That is awesome, Maria. I mean, that is stellar. Squats is you know, it's a very effective exercise, but it's like running versus walking. You know, it's a more enduring, more of an endurance type of an exercise. So if you're sore, which you're saying you were, it means you're doing them right, you know. All right. Okay, I just wanted to You know, it's okay to have some rough edging, but I don't want a whole lot because I want to keep that clean line that I'm going for with the mitten form. All right, so I was saying I'm going to do about 2 inches, enough to go around the top and the sides and just to sit, you know, on the underside. But that part has got to be flat. So we're going to line this up and, ew, oh no. Oh dear Lord. Do you guys see what I did? Okay, here's the mitten box. I'm so glad I discovered this now. You think that's gonna work? I cut it there. I have the wrong way that I was just about to decorate the, you know. So what I'm gonna have to do is now it's just a simple fix. I'm gonna be flipping this around. And now I'm gonna label this as the top. Top. And I'm gonna call this the right side man. Right now. Holy cow, that would have been a disaster. You know, I would have wasted a lot of material, time, and everything had that not been discovered. Okay, so now we've got the right side. So because of this, that means I gotta change this side to now this side to make it the bottom. So I really apologize for that, you guys. I had the lid going the wrong way. Oops. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see what. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh, whoopsie daisies. See, and I'd not, you know, I would have had it going the wrong way. And because, you know, of the decoration and stuff, oh no. So making sure that everything lines up and now I have the right sides. I had to flip the pop outs over to fit with the mitten and now it can be a lid to make sure that this thumb part was going the right way. Wow. All right. Thank you. Thank you, God, for bringing that to my attention. And, you know, I always love how God works with me in his profound ways. You know, something just immediately brought it to my attention, like, it's the wrong way. You know, it's the wrong way. Before you go any further, it's the wrong way. And it was just that simple. I'm like, oh my God, you're right. You are so right. Oh, left side. Whoops. Meant to put wrong side. Oh no, this is the right side. Hang on. Right side top. Right side bottom. If you ever hear the terms right side, wrong side, in the sewing world, right side of fabric, wrong side of fabric, I use that terminology with this. So now I got the bottom, I got a top, double check, make sure they fit. And okay, so now I can move it at this juncture. At this juncture. All right. I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to get my ruler out and I'm just going to eyeball 2 inches. And let's see, where did I leave off on here? Okay, I'm going to work my folds. If you've done this for a little while, if you've done quilting for a little bit, you can work your folds where I could do this, cut it, and get multiple pieces and multiple lengths out of it, which is what I'm wanting to do here. So I'm gonna have to go this way with it, you know. And when you do so, um, I gotta watch my folding lines. So I've got one folding line, I've got two. Okay, we've got continuous folding lines. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna bring this part over and around, and I try to keep the salvage, the edges of the material. If I'm not using all the material at once or on one project, to keep it bound, to keep it kept, you know, so the edges don't fray and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so I'm just gonna take my ruler right here, and I want a good, you know, good 2.5 inches right off that edge, and consequently this plaid, last part of this plaid is going to give me that. Ends up being that 2-inch marker. What did I do with my pencil? Ooh, I just had it too. I had my pencil. Where did it go? Right in here. All right, Lord, now where did my pencil go? Have a sip of coffee. Okay. Oh. Alright, well, I'm trying to find my oh gee whiz, where did I put my white pencil? It's important, and I just sharpened it and everything. I need to find it. Should have a couple of these on here. Okay. Whoops, I dropped it on the floor. All right. Thank you, Lord. Amen. Okay, I'm going to double check this again. And I'm wanting to be, yeah, bring it one over. Okay, I'll go with that. Right at this edge of this plaid strip, I'm going to go ahead and mark it. Okay, and now I have my marking, and now I'm going to be cutting. See how I have that marked in white? I use the edge right here. It's perfect to that. Perfect to that 2.5 inches on to the edge that I'm going to use to cover that lid, the top part. Let's see how these do with it. Okay, those aren't gonna. I might. Oh, jeez. I'm gonna sharpen these shears real quick. I need sharp shears to. Paper really dulls the scissors fast. Have you guys noticed? Like paper and cardboard, I gotta sharpen my scissors regularly. Let's go over the porcelain side. Alright. Mm. Mm. That was the big ones. All right, let's try and do the little ones too. See if these, I'll give a good go about what happened. I had bought a cutting wheel. I just have it packed away somewhere. Okay, let's see if that does the trick. Okay, I'm gonna have to open it up. If I had my rotary cutting wheel, it would just one swipe and that would be done. But I don't have it, so doggone it. Let's bring this out. I'm gonna have to. Good. All right, I could probably bring it to about right there on the folds. I'm gonna go ahead and get this and remove that. Here to here. Okay. Now I can I hope I can move this along. How's everybody's Sunday doing? Anybody cook or bake anything? That ain't doing it. Doggone it. Really disappointed in those. Ah. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and come back just in case I can I just want to try and get this in just one shortcut. I don't want to sit here and hack at this all day. Okay, so 1, 2, where did it go? Okay. Wonder if it's on that back under, there it is. Okay. There's a pair of scissors. They're called Gingfers. I want those scissors. I've been wanting them for a long time. They're supposed to be really, really good scissors. They're expensive. They're like $50, $75 up to $100 a pair. If our economy ever gets straightened out, those are my scissors that I'd like. Okay, so now I'm going to take my cardboard. Here's my blade. Okay. And usually I keep this wrapped in thirds. This was a yard, and this is gonna do a lot of I can do a lot of crafting with it. In fact, I was gonna also cover the back side with this with some pillow fill, to make it look like the back puffy part of a mitten. So I'm going to be putting this over here to save that. And I'm going to open up this strip. This strip is about 2.5 inches. So I'm opening it up and opening it up. And as you see, I only had to cut a little bit, and I cut the whole length of a strip. And voila. Neat, huh? Boy, do I miss this. It reminds me of quilting. I miss quilting so much, you guys. All right. Okay, so because this is like an awkward, because it's awkward in its shape, I'm going to be cutting strips at a time and then piecing it on. Um, because you can't really go around with it, but I'll be doing the top sides and then folding that under. And so, and different, I can use this long strip to cut off as much as I need to piece around the material because we are now decorating the upper part of the lid. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my hot glue gun. And there we go. And grab the polyfill. I hate working with this polyfill stuff because it gets like in your mouth, in your hair, in your teeth, up your nose. Okay. Okay, have sweet dreams, Maria, and happy squatting in the morning, girl. So glad that you came. Thank you for your time and for your participation. We value you. All right, talk to you later. And Turban Girl, we had pinto beans, rice combined, and baked chicken, coconut pie. For dessert, my gosh, does that sound delicious? Coconut pie. Ooh. Um, I'm gonna make a banana cream pie. I also want to make a coconut pie. And then I also want to do, I found a recipe for lemon cheesecake. I went to a baker, a lady who bakes out of her home, and bought a homemade lemon cheesecake from her for my mother's birthday. It was like the best cheesecake I ever had. It was so good. So, I'm now on hot pursuit, of course, for a lemon cheesecake. And then it also had like a lemon custard topping for it. Holy cow. My Lord. It was worth every penny. Every penny. It was so good. Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to be having leftovers, and then for dessert, I'll probably have cereal. I'm one of those, I like to wake up in the middle of the night and have cereal. So I got my polyfill right here. I'm like a midnight snacker. I got a nice big bag of this. It's made in the USA. Polyfill with joy. And it is made in the USA. It is 1 pound, 16 ounces. And it's made by, let's see here, I'm trying to find them. I always lose what they're, I always lose who, there it is. Okay, Fairfield. Made by Fairfield, made in the USA. And this is some good quality stuff. It is thick. This is good stuff. Very good stuff. Oh, I know. Oh my gosh, I know. Good night to all. To bed I go. Thank you for attending, Jeanette. Thank you very much for coming in, saying hello and participating. It's really appreciative. Have sweet dreams, sweetheart. Cinderella's mice loves you. Okay. So this is the right side. This is the top. I'm just making sure what is what. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm just gonna do a small layer of polyfill around the top, and then I'm going to be covering it with the red clad material, and it's going to puff it. It's going to give us that poofy lid kind of a thing, and stay consistent with the poofy muffin. All right. Grab some of this, start to stretch it out a bit. Yeah, I gotta get my thimbles out for my hot glue gun. I told you guys, I cannot tell you guys or say anything to you guys unless I have it to offer. You can't give what you don't got, and that includes experience. I told you guys to get the heat thermal gloves for hot glue gun using or the silicone thimbles. And I told you guys that I can't tell you that unless I've done it myself. For the past 2 videos, I have been doing it. So I can tell you I kept my fingers. They're happy, they're pretty, they're wonderful. Um, so I think that's really cool. I am giving you guys some spirituality that I am practicing and applying in my daily life. This is sane. This is sanity. Burning my fingers and being procrastinating and oh, I'll just do this just once and then da, 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 da. I prayed about it and I prayed for willingness and the Lord gave it to me and I am in silicone thimbles and I've got the thermal heat gloves too. So I want to let you guys know that. All right. So I got just a little bit of polyfill. And we're going to move it. All right. So I'm just going to spread this out because like I said, we're just going to do a thin layer. I cannot tell you a little bit does a lot. And this is really good stuff. But I just want to give it that feel and that look, of an oven mitt, right? And this is going to do that for us. If you guys are using projects where snow is needed, you can do this. If you want to, I would not, hang on a second. I can't say to spray and glitter because I don't know what adhesives would do when mixed with this. But if you needed it for snow, this would work. I was almost going to state use spray Mod Podge and put your glitter on it, but I don't know. This too has some kind of a chemical in it, and I wouldn't want you to, I wouldn't want to suggest something to you that isn't good to do because I haven't done it. I don't know on this part. So I watched someone's live where they went to Hobby Lobby and they got some stuff and they went to remove the price tags. They said they use acetone and then they used alcohol and that for some reason it was like real smudgy and that kind of a thing, and the adhesive wasn't coming off from the price tag. Alcohol is the one to use, not acetane. If you use acetane on plastics, on acrylic, things of that nature, it will melt it. So, alcohol will help take the oil and fingerprints and gunk off of your things like your window sheet, plastics, fingerprints off your shrink bags, silo bags. Do not use acetone. It will melt it. It will. It's also a paint remover. So if you're going to, if you accidentally, it removes nail polish. So what does that tell you? It's going to remove any kind of paint, right? So I just wanted to put that out there. Okay, we're going to, hello everyone, are you there? It timed out and then said it was reconnecting. I don't know why it did that. But if you're on, this is Shannon with Cinderella's Mice. It's Sunday evening. I want to say it's October 18th, 2025, and I'm working on the mittens. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to spread this out and, spread it spreading it to a thin consistency. So I want to poof my glove, and I want to get my thimbles on right now. Right now. And see, this is, you know, I say if it's not practical, it's not spiritual. If you're doing something insane, it's not spiritual. Okay? You know, we have insanity, right? So, here's my thimbles. I'm putting them on right now. And what was really cool was Nicole with Divine Creations came on my live, and I, you know, had just hot glued something. And she said, "Oh, I see you got your thimbles on. You're using your thimbles." I was like, "Oh yeah, that's cool." Am I walking my talk, right? You know, she caught me walking my talk. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, because I had burnt myself so bad. I had third-degree burns, and once that glue gets on your skin, you know, it just continues to burn the crap out of it because, you know, it's sticky. And then when you go to get it off, you know, you smear it, you touch the other hand. Now that hand's getting burned. Here it is, right here. So you do these three, and where's the other one? I should have another one. All right. I've got to have, I got all three of them. You know, I recommend the silicone thermal heat gloves over these, you know, because it protects your whole hand. Mine are over at the mouse house, and these pop off. You know, I had to tape these on at one point until they got conformed to my hand here. Yeah, this one's wanting to go too. All right, so I'm going to use this one because I use the thumb with the trigger on here, so I'll just use this as a third. Usually when I'm tapping and pressing on stuff, it's usually with these three fingers. So idealistically, I wanted to have a pair here and over at the mouse house, you know, so I'd always have them on hand. Oh, wow, that makes me mad. Okay, I found it. I found the other pair. So these are popping off. I'm going to have to tape them. They're doing really well the other night. I guess if I'm crafting a lot, my fingers swell. And that can do it. All right. Like that. I have the other one under there. Oh, gee whiz. There it is. Yeah, I mean, this stuff can be baffling, you know, having a thought process. All right. I found my third one. I'm going to go ahead and tape down these gloves, or these, my thimbles. I gotta tape them on because they're wanting to pop off, and I can't have that right in the middle of my gluing. Okay, here's another piece of tape. Okay. Here we go. And then I've got this one. All right. Thimbles are secure. I'm gonna go ahead and do this hand. Okay. Get my thumb on right here. Mhm. Okay. And I'm taping because my thimbles are popping off. I think that because, I've been doing a lot of crafting and the humidity is high right now, my fingers swell. So I'm taping them to stay on while I craft, and this does a really great job of that. This is really good packaging tape, and I'm just taping these on, because I just can't have it run into any kind of issues. This one's all right. Here we go. Is that on? Okay, it's on. Okay. All right. You're here, Turban Girl. You're so sweet. You're such a sweetheart. You know what else I thought, what could be is a coconut banana pie. Hang on, coconut banana cream pie. And try that combination. I think those would be excellent to have also. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and what happened here? Is my hot glue gun plugged in? I gotta go check this thing. I wondered if I pulled the outlet out. Yep. Okay. While that heats up, I thought it was on this whole time. I'm going to continue to spread this stuff out. And just do a nice thin layer of it. It gives it a really good puffy mitten look to it. I mean, because after all, this is what's in mittens, So. And these make a good size gift box. I just want you guys to know you can fit a lot of stuff in these. All right. True. Sanity. All right. Loves them. All right. It is 12:42 a.m. here in Arizona. It's officially Monday. Yay! On this last Dollar Tree free shipping, I got a case of hand creams, the body lotion, and then I got a case of the body mist. This is the first time I'm able to get the body mist because they've always been out of stock. So, I was telling you guys how I left a full case of body washes in the physical store itself because I already have 4 cases. So those should be arriving tomorrow, and I'm getting excited, to see what I can put together with those. And then the peel stick contact paper is going to be arriving between tomorrow and Wednesday. So get to put more stuff together for the bear hat boxes. I need to wrap some cardboard in the peel stick contact paper so that I can set the treat box cartons on their laps with the perfume, and that kind of a thing. Yay! I'm excited. Have you done any hauls recently, Turban Girl? Have you got anything, anything that's gonna, that you're working on with your concepts? Okay. I thought my heat gun, my hot glue gun was turned on earlier and it wasn't. The plug had came out of the outlet. I bought one of those power strips. I was able to get two of them on the 75% off sale that Dollar General had. I was so happy to get those. Those are expensive. They go from like $20 to $40. And I got each one for $5. So I put one in my room and one out here in the kitchen. And I love those things. I could plug up to 5 things in there, not have to rotate, the outlet through use of tools and that kind of stuff. So, all right. Our glue is hot. And I'm just going to use this to help smash down our fluff. I'm just going to put, some down here. Grab some of this here. And press. And another thing that can be done is you can spread this out as you're, because technically it's tapped at that point, but you can, pull it apart and spread it out while it's on there. So I really don't have a whole lot. I just have enough. I got a thin layer on there, just enough to give it some poof. A little bit goes a really long ways with this stuff. I want my glue to get just a little bit hotter so that I can, really move it along here. And then after this whole surface is covered, I'm just going to take a pair of scissors and cut along the edges and the outline of the outside of the mitten because I want this to stay very defined, right? Okay. All right. Continue to just stretch this and spread this apart. Okay. And okay. So like so. And this makes, now I'm having fun. This makes quick work. Now we're just gonna breeze right along here. There we go. Just come back on up and over in here. Press down. Press and down on that. All right. I love this cordless hot glue gun. It works wonders. You don't have to worry about no cord length or uh, getting into detailed areas and not being able to get to it because, you know, the cord's in the way. Drives me nuts. All right. So I'm just already starting to cut some of that excess off of there. Come around. From here on out, I might be able to go ahead and finish the poof part of our project. Okay. And all right, and I'm just working my ways around the edges, you know, putting a generous amount of glue on and adding just, you know, a little bit of pillow fill at a time. Here we go. And not really too worried about, you know, I want to get, you know, a thin layer of it on is what I really want to do, no matter what. So I'm doing that and keeping all of that in mind. I'm going to take this and I'm going to press and stick, press and stick. Keep holding it and pressing it. Get this back on here for a feel. So now it's starting to look like the poofiness of a mitten. And so in this case, we're doing the baker's mitten, the oven glove. The reason why I'm using this really thin layer is because I want to keep these edges defined with the glove. When you start getting poofy and things like that, and this is not meant to be a pillow, guess what's going to happen? It's going to turn out to be a pillow or a big giant blob of something. And that's not what we want. So it's got to be thin, you know, just enough to give it that poof, just like, you know, mittens are. All right. Okay. I want to come back over here and get this edge good. All right, there we go. Just tap that. And I'm just going to go and get these edges. Tap down and get these ready for putting, you know, or wrapping, if you will, the material on. Push and stay. All right. There we go. Okay. And I'm just going to keep going around these edges, you know, and getting some more stuff on in here. I've got to grab this. See, do you see this? Do you see this? This could have been my fingers. Think of these like your seat belts, okay? All right. me try using these. I don't know why those are. Sometimes the bigger scissors cut better when you're cutting thicker stuff. All right, there we go. And these are non-stick titanium. Titanium makes them lightweight. When you get into those blades that are durable and long-lasting, but with really cheap metal, you know, because now they're super heavy, that's when you start getting like carpal tunnel, things like that. Titanium is very strong and super efficient. You know, but it's also lightweight. Okay, so we're going to just continue to cut, and I want a very defined line on the outer parts and inner parts of our mitten, because I don't want to end up with a giant blob. All right. And believe me, when you start using this stuffing, it gets good. You know, you just want to keep on going with it, and don't do it. You know, and we don't have to rush this either. Boy, do I like that idea. When wrapping, you know, I'm lining this up for our next step. So with the covering material, we're going to be wrapping on the inside. So it's going to be coming from the inside around, and then our final is going to be taking the rest of it and wrapping around the back. Yeah. It's easier to, you know, tug and come under than it is to tug from the inside and try and get in the inside on these intricate places. It's easier to do that part from the outside. And we're only doing the top part of the lid. We're not doing this underside. I want to try and keep this as flat as possible so that we can have a good flat flush surface to seal onto. All right. Okay, I gotta put away what I'm not using. I can't work in a cluttered area, especially when I'm dealing with hot glue. Okay, let's see. Got off that part that could have been my fingers. Okay. All right. I'm so excited to get to that next step of our yeah, I just want to make sure it's good and glued down before moving on to the next step. And the biggest thing, yeah, I don't want to create a whole new shape here, is I want to make sure these edges are crisp and well defined. I want to give it a whole new look. You know, this is supposed to be a mitten. I'm going to keep it a mitten. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Not trying to glue it to the kitchen table. We're doing well so far with that. Only did that once. All right, this is good. Um, all right, so as you can see, it does not take much. It shouldn't take much anyways. You can see how clean that edge is. So I'm going to be doing with our strip that we cut earlier is I'm going to be cutting, you know, pieces off, and we're going to be wrapping from the inside, underside, and over and around, because it's easier to bring it this way. It's hard if you want to do the outside, and you're going to have a hard time doing that with this intricate small angle. You know, you're going to want to go from, we're going to lay it from inside and work to the outside all the way around the mitten. We're going to go from inside to outside. And, you know, it's easier for me to pull, to snag, you know, pull and tug under on the outside than it is on the inside. Thank you so much, sweetie. Thank you, thank you. They come in handy. I glued mine on, and I'm glad I did. This could have been my fingers. You know, I was saying how my in high humidity, or if I'm working with my hands a lot, they get swollen, and then the thimbles start popping off. I don't want to defeat the purpose of why I have them on. You know, it can get frustrating. You keep putting them on, they pop off. Put on, pop off. I don't need to do that game. I'm taping them on because of enough of that game. One's going to pop off, and I'm going to go on without it. Right? Because I'm too excited and too frustrated. And I'm going to burn the shit out of my finger, and I do not want to do that. So, they come in really handy. If I were to recommend something, it would be the silicone thermal gloves, because your whole hands are covered, right? I got these because those are at the Mouse House, and I was going to be crafting and could not wait for whoever, Amazon or Walmart, to ship them. Came across these at Dollar Tree and bought 2 packs. And so the gloves also, they stay on. You know, like I said, these pop off. You're going to tape them on. You saw me do it. I had enough of the, you know, I can see where this is going, so I just need to tape them on. You know. Thank you. I really appreciate it. If you've got like diabetes or, you know, anything like that, I do not suggest taping them on. You know, you don't want to, if you do it too tight, it can restrict your blood flow. But see, I have them on just enough to secure them onto my fingers. Just enough. All right. So I got the hot glue gun on, and because I'm going from the inside out, trying to think of how I'm going to want to apply this. So I'm going to start with this small edge. I'm going to start with a cuff first, down here at the bottom. And we're going to be gluing from the inside up and over, and then securing it down at the bottom of the bottom side. So I'm going to measure my length, and I'm going to measure it from the inside corner to the inside corner, not from edge to edge, because I need to be able to wrap the inside of this edge, because the window sheet is going to be going here. So if that makes some sense. So I'm going to cut off just enough for what's needed on this. And okay. Yeah, that's just what that is. How am I gonna, that's how I need to do it. Okay. All right. Whew. And I'm gonna take my time. I enjoy this. You know, I hate that. Do you ever get that rushed feeling? You know, like you're rushed and you're hurrying. I'm like, you know, why am I rushing? Why when I don't have to? Can't stand that feeling. All right. Okay. Okay. So I cut a little bit off of my strip. I'm going to set that aside and line it up and get it ready to bring it around. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to be setting it at the edge of the bottom side, gluing it, bringing it up, and then around this way, and gluing it on the back side over here. So all right, let's see this here. I'm going to do this all the way around, kind of like the bling, how we did the bling wrap. Alright. I keep lots of hot glue sticks on hand. I go through this particular hot glue, I'm going through pretty quick. I don't know why that is, but it's good glue. It sticks really good. All right, so I'm going to bring this off. Here's my piece. I'm going to glue a little bit right here on the bottom edge. And I'm going to come to the furthest part of the inside edge and set it down. And then we're going to wrap the top part. Okay. So let's see here. If I'm going like here to here, and that's what I'm going to do is go from, hang on, let's see, we're doing the inside, so yeah. Okay. All right, and I'm going to press. And then I'm going to let that set for just a few. And if you cut too short or anything like that, don't worry, because we still have I wish I had a pointer. I don't have a pointer. We still have all these other edges in the center to fill. So do you see that? Oh no, I screwed up. Hang on. Oh no, I didn't. Okay, because I'm now going up and around. Okay. All right, I just need to glue a little bit over here on this corner. And if it's too much, I can always cut some slits in it. And then that'll help, you know, wrap and bring that through. Okay. I would suggest letting it set for just a few before you like really start tugging and stuff. If you don't and you go to tug, you might be tugging it off of where you just glued it, and we don't want to do that. Okay. Anybody who has any questions on this, you know, I'd be happy to help on that. So now you see how we're going to be wrapping it up to the front here, and then securing it on the as close to the back of the underside as we possibly can, right here. Okay. So yeah, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue, make sure this is set. Wow, this glue stays hot. All right. Have some more coffee. Oh, darling. I have a single little candle with the LED light in there. I put LED battery operated LED lights one time in my gingerbread houses, and they were darling. And I crushed up a bunch of Jelly Ranchers. Melted, so I crushed up a bunch of Jolly Ranchers, right? And put the pieces in the windows, and then put them in the oven so the bits and pieces of the Jolly Ranchers would melt in the oven. And it came out so neat looking because I used multiple different colors. It looked like it was like stained glass window. I had a lot of fun in that. Thank you. I'm like trying to. Okay. All right. So this is what we've done so far. Isn't that nice? It's very cute. And then here's the back side. And last thing I'm going to be doing is just barely bringing the wrap around and securing it on the bottom side. Okay, which is what we're fixing to do right now. And so how do I want to do this? That's how I want to do that. So I'm going to do that. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and now get that final little divot in there. And so like with the back of our dummy lid, don't worry about clean undersides of this. Yeah, I want to keep this as flat as I can, and we're doing a really good job of that. And there it is. Because I'm going to take some other regular strips. Mind if you're going to use contact paper, any little divot, any little bump, any little anything is going to show up on that. So that's what I'm saying. We're making such good use of that buffalo plaid that I am going to be able to go ahead and just, you know, finish a flat all the way around it. Okay. And I'm going to trim this edge here. And that's what we're going to be doing all the way around on it. Okay. All right. You know, it really doesn't take a whole lot of glue. You don't want it to. This cheaper material, what tends to happen is the glue seeps through to the other side, and that's not what we want. So, you know, with the glue, you know, a little bit, make sure, if anything, just make sure it's set before you go tugging on it and bringing it, wrapping it over and around. That's the biggest thing. Oh, this came off. Okay, very good. Okay. Thank you so much, Turban Girl. I appreciate it. Such a sweetheart. It's really fun. It's really fun, you know, seeing it all come together and, you know, getting to see the final product and stuff. You know, that's what the fun part is. All right, so I'm going to take another piece of our strip. And I want to do, okay, I can do that. I can go from here to here. We can go out a little bit more, a little bit extra. Actually, well, yeah, I can. We're just gonna point cut that in there. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, it did. So the glue bled through just a little bit. That's what I can't stand about that. All right, so that means I just need to use a little bit less. That's what that means. I'm going this way with that. And it means I'm about how do I want to, how, like where, oh, jeez. Okay, so we're going to go a little bit more further up on it. Mm. Mm. Yeah. Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Okay, and I'm just going to press down on there. I used less glue this time, so hopefully it didn't bleed through. Okay. All right. So now, now I'm going to. Should we do that? Let's keep that way right now, because I'm gonna have to do something different, I think, with that. Well, actually, let's. Yeah, I don't know if we can, but it, you know, at this juncture, it just wouldn't hurt to try. Okay. Yeah, that's just a little bit too much for it. All right. All right, I'm just gonna tap points into it. Okay. Now we got cutting some of that away. Oh dear. What did I do? Oh no. Oh, okay. Oh, oh no, what did I do? I'm having a hard time keeping my right side and my wrong side straight. um, okay. 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 Yeah, I've about an inch out. So I can stay there and come up there. Great idea. How did I manage to do this? Oh Lord. I did something. I did a boo-boo. That ain't gonna work, and that ain't gonna work, and that ain't gonna work. Oh dear Lord. Yeah, I like that. So basically I did that on a right side thing. Okay. Well, we're not completely out. All right. Okay. I'm gonna stick to going to the upper surface and piecing things on the top around instead of concentrating so much on wrapping the inside around to the bottom side. Because we can always piece things up together here. Okay, so yeah, it'll be enough to wrap around. Just concentrate as close to the middle as we possibly can. Anything on the upper underside? Yeah. Alright, so I'm just gonna tap that. And same thing with this. You know, I kind of just want to go in at that angle and work it as a straight. Yeah, anything that's crazy like that, I'd like to just use as patchwork. That's another thing what makes this fun is just it's versatile and you know can give it that patch work look to it. All right, same. Go about here. Alright. Okay. Yeah, you know, look out that way. Oh. Okay. I think so. I just felt a cool breeze on my face. It's nice when that happens. We're having an auspicious time from what I hear with the other side. You know. All right. Okay. All right. So I'm just patching it on as we're going through and working it around. So it'll be like, you know, once I glue it around into the sides and end up the other side, it'll be, you know, it'll show up better like when it needs to. But I'm going to sign off for now. I'm tired. I want to eat a little bit of dinner, probably grab another cup of coffee. Thank you so much for those of you who've joined. I really appreciate it. I hope you had fun with me tonight, and I hope you're, you know, crafting along and basketing along in your world. So I will talk to you later. Thank you, Turban Girl BAGs, for hanging out there. You're always a wonderful subscriber to have, and I'm grateful for your support. Mwah. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good evening.